Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Time for game number 3 here, the deciding one, and okay, it should be a good one too. Immortals. This time around, they get themselves their IO, the tiny taken away from Blue Pikachu though. So they won't get their full combo. My name is dragondropdota base skills, and well, we've had a bit of a turbulent series so far already. Games 1 and 2 have had a lot going for themselves in their own right, but now it doesn't really matter. It's all about this game.
Yeah,
And it's getting better and better.
we're in for a treat, I think. I mean, Immortals, they're so good at playing with this Wisp, I assume a lot of aggression from them. But Blue Pikachu, Tiny Dark Willow, that's two great heroes.
Yep. Lifesteal as well, so might not just be the IO +1, but perhaps +2 if the lifesteal is infested. You link up with somebody else to relocate around, so...
Yeah, Nyx is always a hero that if you see the opponents having Tiny, there's so many teams that just instantly picks up these snakes because it's just a really good hero against him. You really destroy him, basically, because he has no armor in lane or really any time in the game he doesn't really have too much armor.
Yeah.
So it's a very nice counter pick. I mean, it worked great for them last game, so why not?
Yeah. Also Magic Queen hero up against the Dark Willow once again, so
yeah.
Don't really care too much about the Rambles, I don't care too much about the Bell.
Actually, the two heroes that are really annoying for Dark Willow, to my understanding, is Jagger and Nyx, because of that fact that the only way you actually kill them is if you hit that fear into doing your stuff.
Yep.
But here we go with the Terrorblade. This is a pretty early Terrorblade pick, so Immortals is gonna have plenty of time to pick whatever counter heroes that they want. Batrider and Beast has been taken away though. Batrider is a really good one against Terrorblade, but
10 seconds remaining.
there's others.
Dire team pick.
Earth Spirit. Certainly helpful here early on against the TB. Able to provide some stuns and silences here to prevent him from thundering people up as he gets low.
It's really obnoxious. Once again, like with this Earth Spirit already, you kind of want BKB on Terrorblade before you can fight too easily. Because we saw in game 1 that silence from DP is so obnoxious, and it's going to be the same story with Earth Spirit.
Yep. Also potential lifesteal carrier. Not the best obviously, because you don't have that instant jump unless he ends up going for a Blink Dagger. But more options always nice.
That's true.
This have to pick up some sort of defensive sword maybe as a result. I don't know.
Really, it all depends on what this Tiny is gonna be. Is this a Willow off lane or off position 4? We'll see.
Well, that's a defensive support, so I'll put myself a point on the board for that. Don't see a whole lot of Dazzle these days, I want to say, and I don't think Blue Pikachu has picked it up themselves all that much either.
It is. I actually really like it because, as mentioned, Earth Spirit is really good against Terrorblade because of the silence, but this Dazzle, obviously with Grave lasting 5 seconds, you're basically always gonna get off the Sunder.
Yeah.
So, put some pressure on Immortals, but this Unlord pick, it's really good, I think. It's against Dazzle Terrorblade lane, you can do a lot of pressure with Unlord, especially with Wisp, Earth Spirit roaming to you, and yeah, like he can take over that lane.
Yep. That is something that Pikachu have to be wary of.
And the rain is gonna be really nice against the Terrorblade illusions later on.
Oh yeah. Percentage based damage, always pretty useful. It's these kind of things, but yeah, it's still have a last pick coming out for Blue Pikachu, and that's where we'll probably see where the lanes end up. I'm kind of expecting 4 position Dark Willow right now, and kind of Tiny offlane with another mid lane hero being picked up, but yeah, the Unlord can kind of throw things around a little bit.
Yeah. Could also be the Dark Willow offlane. I've seen that a lot. Like, it can be Tiny or Willow offlane. Like, it's really gonna come down to. It can even be a Tiny mid. Honestly, like they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
It's basically gonna be unknown until they do the last pick. The Immortals, they're gonna need a mid here. Storm could potentially be quite good. Their Willow doesn't really have the best lockdown against him. Tiny is of course annoying, but or they go with
10
the
seconds
gyro.
remaining.
Ryoya played the last game. No, first game.
5
I don't know.
seconds remaining.
It's
First game.
interesting how Gyro has not been picked or banned right now.
Of
That's Queen of Pains, so not a lifestealer carrier.
I guess both teams lost with gyro, right? So you know,
Yeah, I
noob
guess.
hero. Neither wants to pick it anymore.
Maybe it's been nerfed too much.
10
I mean,
seconds
I think it
remaining.
really good. Like it's like okay, both teams first pick gyro basically
5
in the first
seconds
phase league.
remaining.
Both of them lost with it. It just puts you at like, eh, let's not pick gyro. Let's go something else.
Yep. Alright, blue Pikachu. What do they need now? Maybe more reliable lockdown? More team fight? Or
You can actually see. I don't know. I wanted to say Viper, but it's pretty wonky. They have very single target heavy. Then kinda. They don't have really. They have Tiny Stun, which is some kind of an AOE stun, I guess, but it's rare. Not rarely like. It's kind of hard to use it like that. You usually use it to blow someone up.
Yeah.
The Viper like very good against Queen of Penny lane. Even with a Wisp, you can probably like mess with them. It's very good against Lifesteal later on.
Viper
Not
would
the
be
best
good.
against Unlord Rain, but
Almost want to say Puck again. Not the worst here either. You have to deal with this silence. Bit of a
it's
root from
quite good.
Underlord, but you can kind of get away from lifestealer failing that. And you have a good
Wins
match against
against
Queen of Pain. Yeah. And you also blow up the IO for the most part. And that's always going to be crucial in these kind of engagements. If you take away the IO, then everything else gets so much more manageable.
Yeah, for sure. But they seem to be quite not sure either what to go here. They're taking their time. I'm stuck on a mid hero, but I mean it doesn't have to be a mid hero. It's the most likely, but
Oh, Enigma.
You may now select your heroes.
It's not a mid hero.
that's not a mid hero.
Oh, it's
that's,
Sketch on the Tiny, so it looks like he'll be taking that towards the mid lane. Abaddon on the Enigma off lane. And 4 position Dark Willow. Alright.
Definitely against this Enigma, like once again Immortals, they're gonna wanna be very, very offensive, very aggressive. Against this Terrorblade Enigma, it is super scary late game. Especially with a Dazzle, always making sure that you get your Sunder off and stuff. But they have kind of weak earlier. Like this Enigma, he just AFK farms Terrorblade against his Earthblade and all that. Like he's not really gonna wanna engage in the fight. So I would say Immortals has a really big opening of just running them over here.
Yeah.
5
It's always the
seconds
thing with the
remaining.
Enigma, like if you end up in a situation where we have to rely on his ultimate, it's never really good, it's never reliable, right? Because sure, maybe sometimes you find a big black hole, but what happens if you don't, right? What happens if you miss it, or what happens if it gets cancelled by a random stone from the Earthspread or something like that? And then it ends up on cooldown for like a million years.
Approximately.
Yeah. Give or take
thing,
a few thousand years, I don't know.
The thing too is that Enigma is really annoying against any melee hero in lane, but if Wisp is there to just kind of improve Lifestealer's movement speed and then Earthspeed rolling in, they can like kill this Enigma over and over again. Like he's gonna have to play very scared in lane when supports are missing, because they can feed on him really hard.
God, Shives. Freaking laugh. If he's gonna spam that, I'm gonna be very mad.
I played pubs today, 2 of them, where people played Void and Gyro and they spammed their taunt the entire laning stage. And I wanted to leave so badly.
I need to do that more. I finally rebound my taunt key to the mouse, so I can actually have good access to that. Need to remember to do that just to tilt people.
It's a great tilt tactic.
Yeah. I mean, these voice lines only tilt your teammates, right?
Yeah.
It's maybe not ideal. The teammates and the casters, obviously, but...
Oh god, please stop.
Especially laugh like that, I didn't realize it was that obnoxious.
Psycho laugh.
Ugh.
That's, you know... crazy girlfriend laugh.
30
Yeah.
seconds to battle.
Alright, anyway, if you guys are just tuning in, it's 1-1 in this best of 3 series here. Immortals dropped game 1 up against Blue Pikachu. Then in turn lost game 2. Now, this is for all the marbles here. Game number 3 to decide which one of these teams will move on to the finals. The qualifiers here for a StarLadder Invitational NA qualifiers, yeah. Febby gonna get stunned up here. It's actually a bit of an issue because Versatile, he's hitting pretty damn hard with the Metamorphosis, but Io still be able to make his way out of there. Dubu though, maybe not so lucky with the roll being blocked. He will be right-clicked down and will be the first blood indeed. So off to a good start this time around. On the side of Blue Pikachu.
Yeah, that's a really nice start for them. They did use meta for it, so it's gonna be a downtime for so Immortals can really pressure it now that they know it's on cooldown. They decide to go Riley on top here and just put the next solo against Enigma.
Huh.
This is not really what I expected, but I mean they can for sure do a lot here. But this Nyx, he might suffer.
Yeah. So trying to exploit just the Dark Widow not being all that strong this early on without levels, and Underlord kind of being unkillable here, and if there's no Metamorphosis in particular.
I feel like it's though like this lane doesn't really take off before Earthspirit gets like level 2 or 3, Underlord gets level 3 or 4. Like up until that, it's basically gonna be a stalemate. I think. I don't think they can do too much to get any kills here. Even if Earthspirit hits roll, then what? It's like they don't have any stuns. They don't have. It's a little bit wonky, I think.
Oh, Lifestealer is doing alright up against Enigma. He got some extra CS on the Eidolons as well. Whatever, then he will not really be zoned away from experience.
Well, this like now this lane is gonna be fine, but as he hits more levels in demonic conversion, it's gonna get harder for Nyx. I assume. I would imagine it's gonna get troublesome for him.
Oh, what? Okay, is that level 2? Yeah, that's a Shadow Realm, okay. Very good spell against squishy targets like the Io. But speaking of targets, Sketch, thinking about rolling in here. He's still just the high ground, but Sketch doesn't seem to care. Chivas rotating in actually with the stun. Avalanche is there, yeah, he's in a lot of trouble here. There's still toss available just to ensure that there's no way out of him. No way out of there for him. That's not what I wanted to say. So, yeah, stuck around a little bit too long in the vision. Chives right back up top. Febby. I'll be very careful here. They're going to Velo though with a stun, with the Metamorphosis as well. Overcharge is available to do not even more of the damage here. Underlord.
It's very
Proving to
beefy.
be very tanky indeed, especially with these heals coming through. Febby already holding onto the bottle. So, not the target that they could kill there, but...
And I like what Dubu did now. He goes bottom because he realizes, hey, okay, our aggro is actually pretty wonky. Like, we can't really do too much here. And Velo is actually being on here.
Gonna try again. Febby's on the bottle charges right now. Still starting to right-click away at him. Or are they?
Shadow
They're
Real.
not. This is so weird to me.
Like, I think what they need to do now, Febby, he needs to go back, he needs to regen, he needs to TP bottom, and they try to feed on this Enigma before Enigma gets too much. Because this aggro stuff, it's not working out for them.
Oh. At least they're staying alive here. Because Febby, somehow they're not focusing on him. Like, I already threw the poison touch onto Velo when I'm pretty sure it was also in range of Febby at that point.
I mean, they are farming very nice on all 3 of their lanes though, so maybe I spoke too soon.
Yeah.
But this is quite alright for them. I get both bounties here, so that's a happy little wisp.
Let's talk about this mid lane a little bit, because so far it seems very even. In terms of CS anyway.
Like, Queen, she's this bully mid laner type, but Tiny, with his new spell tree grab, he's always gonna be able to get some CS. I would imagine, we can see it as well. Like Queen, she's getting a little bit more than nice than Tiny and whatnot. So she's winning the lane, but ever so slightly.
Which once the second Talisman comes out, you have a lot of damage to work with. Not quite as much as a Tiny. Even now, but
Currently sitting half HP as well, so
well, half HP is still more than 600, so it's a pretty tanky fella in that regard. Not necessarily with the armor, but certainly with the health points. What's the strength gain? 3.3. Yeah.
they want to make a. Dubu is smoking up here now. I think they want to go top again. They want to make something happen on this top lane more than just farming.
What gets taken out? Pretty good catch there. Makes things a little bit more tricky here. Yeah. Already moving out. Bottom lane, yeah, just against each other. Everton keeping up.
Nex is actually farmed very nicely. He has not been like he didn't really suffer at all from this 1 versus 1. Thought he might do that, but deflected it very nicely. So good job on him. He's gonna be a bit scared to stay in this lane though, as Everton hits 6 now. This black hole is gonna be able to kill him if he oversteps.
Yeah. The other gets a fresh set of Eidolons and with the duplications. Certainly have enough damage here against the lifesteal on top of that black hole.
Yeah. No, lanes are very even.
Oh yeah. Top lane is just a constant struggle of Blue Pikachu trying to get a hold of the IO here. Now Fabi actually going in quite deep here on top of the haste storm on the Earthbird, but Velos one dropping quite low. Nice little stone coming through, stopping Versatile from wrecking for a moment here, but now Fabi tanks 1, tanks 2, and 1 more from Chivas. Pretty damn fast with his own auto attacks. So he'll secure that kill finally. Everyone else out and about, home and host, whatever you want to call it. So at the very least, Wiz did his job in keeping everyone else alive.
Did we mention that Dark Willow has like the best freaking attack animation in the game as well?
Yeah. I mean, she needs it, right? I mean, it's not like her spells are all that good.
That's true.
So you need to be able to attack properly. Just a balance thing, you know?
Very, very true.
Alright, so 4-0 right now, actually, in terms of kills. Look at the net worth. Lifesteal is still keeping ahead, of course, with all these last hits that he has on the spell, but Terrorblade certainly not being shut down despite his aggressive attempts.
Yeah, and how are the supports on both sides doing? I mean, they're doing pretty even. The game is very even right now. It's just ever so slightly CS lead for Immortals, but Blue Pikachu is up 4 kills, so the game is about dead even, really.
With the exception perhaps that both of the spots on the side of Blue Pikachu at level 4 with Dubu. He's been spending a lot of time running around between lanes. Not even quite level 3 just yet. And a bit of an issue here for Earthbirds. I mean, 0-2-0 is not the kind of scoreline that you want to see in a 4 position.
This is actually quite, like, this Earthbird is getting into a really tough spot where, yeah, you're gonna hit 6 really late unless you get a lane, and...
Oh, bottom lane, black hole is there! That's what we were talking about earlier. A lot of Eidolons, Rage not protecting yourself, especially if you're already sitting at half health. Meanwhile, Ryora making rotation up top, but oh my god, that AoE. It's not quite enough until Firestorm comes through for Velo. Snagging the kill just in the nick of time. That was the TP out attempted from the Dark Willow. Versatile doesn't really want to fight without the meta up in 15 seconds.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Bottom lane, Everton. MP looking for some revenge. Doesn't have a TP if he wants to just walk away from this. But instead he just turns to fight with the Eidolons. Alright. MP.
He's kind of losing that battle. And Everdeen, he's now 2 levels ahead of MP. So he's doing very well for himself, despite MP sitting on the highest in last hits.
That's crazy, this level differential. But if you look at the denies,
Yeah.
of course, it makes sense, right? Of course, You not
It's
just
an
get
Enigma.
the 3 denies from the demonic conversion, you also get the ones just naturally with right clicks because you have like 3
Yeah.
or 6 extra units attacking away on top of you.
Enigma is usually a really good hero in any 1 versus 1 because yeah, he does this stuff. He just out denies the opponent slowly over time.
The Stry lane still holding strong up top. Terror rate almost level 6, doesn't matter available, so at this point looks like Immortals, they finally broken it up more permanently here perhaps.
And Dubo, he's finally soon level 4, 10 minutes in. He's really struggling.
Hello? Yes. Yeah, he's not dead. He's super tanky. Pops an ultimate to get himself out. Still have the Wisp even running in. Just in case. And okay, Alrun. Ultimate. Oh, look. Ultimates. Shallow Grave TP. Meanwhile, the roll mid, Royora. That's a fine sketch, but such a low level Earthspirit. It doesn't even have the stun duration to really put a sweat or put fear into sketch at all.
And Velo, he did go for Helm of Dominator. I really like this build. You can just, even more so than normally as Underlord, you can just run at people and just have this extra creep or this extra stun from a Centaur or a Ursa Clapper, and it's he's super strong right now. That's what I'm trying to say.
People really not on the money today with this Earthspirit. This is another stone here as Enigma just walks by, so the smoke rotation not really
Just
turned
barely.
into anything, so Queen of Pain also just put a bit of time wasted unless they can turn this into tier 1 tower.
The big issue is it's 11 minutes in and Dubo has just barely hit level 4, and it's like they need to give him a lane or something like this.
Eidolon's even denying themselves. It's just adding insult to injury at this point. And not even getting the tower, not even significant damage done. Top lane? Oh god. Oh wait, that was someone else entirely. That was mid. That's the rundown sketch after all. Relocate in from Io, that explains it.
It's a really nice one for them. And they just get back to top lane and keep farming.
Relocate out was under the tower, so unable. Oh, blue Pikachu unable to really go in. Versatile though, that's not something to work with. I want to thank Velo. Tanking that. They had the heals going from Febby, so he's almost back up to.
Well, they want to go on him, man.
I don't want to go. Stun. Just some connecting with the Silence on their lane. There's still Alu next to him with a Shallow Grave available. Now the stun, they have to separate, and they will. Febby. They wanted to, they could have maybe gone for him with the Metamorphosis, busted him down, but his stance might, their service might be required down bottom. Black Hole is available for Everton. Wants to throw it out here against Febby as well as MP. Does have help coming, but he does get busted down with the Infest.
Really good
He's
kill.
holding on to it for a little bit too long.
And Nyx is closing in on Relic and Radiance, and that is gonna be scary for them. That is gonna be a really... When this Underlord, he's like 4 points in Atrophy Aura, and this Helm of Dominator, he's gonna go for Crimson as well, I think. And then this Radiance, I mean, they're gonna be really, really strong on the side of Immortals.
Yep. A scary thought, isn't it? Still the Queen of Pain. I mean, there's another 45 seconds on next Sonic Wave. So, like, I think kind of falling into place for Mortals with them kind of being able to slow down turn rate enough, perhaps, at least for now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They wanna go on Velo top, but he's fat.
Such a hard kill, especially with Dubu there. They're still trying to commit for it with the Brambles coming out now as well. We should stand there then. Relocate coming through, bringing an MP and Sketch. Yeah, going, I mean, straight B-lane from Tiny. Does get a TP out though. Dark Willow, not so lucky here. Just died. Too damn over time, and Everton is in a lot of trouble too. Alone against 4 heroes. They're just diving around in and out here so as to not all be caught by a single black hole.
This is the real issue with Enigma, that this black hole spell, it's so strong, but the hero feels so freaking meh, like...
Good bottom lane. Febby, he's just fighting. He had the poison touch on him the entire time. Dazzle just continued to right click away, but it was a bait.
has fallen.
Raya was there to just take it over and help his friend out.
And 600 gold away from the
Dire's
Radiance
top tower is under attack.
for MP.
See versatile here. Feels like Immortals, like the heroes are doing well enough even without the Earth Spirit, creating a lot of chaos and a lot of kills early on. And that's quite something.
50 minutes in and he's about to hit level 6. He's had a tough game for sure.
If you look at network distribution, like all 3 cores are well ahead of Blue Pikachu right now.
Yeah.
Can I turn this around here? That's the question. Sketch picked himself up a Blink Dagger, so with a full max out combo, Raiwa he gets caught by that.
Okay. Is he gonna die though? Wisp is somewhat close.
Versatile. Can go for Thunder. There it is. Oh, but the quick blink out.
Ooh.
That was some spidey senses tingling, one would imagine. Raiwa.
It's a very good attempt from Blue Pikachu though with the Thunder into combo.
Yeah. It's the right idea, but Immortals just a step ahead, or maybe it was lucky. I don't know.
Dire's middle tower.
Dude, we're standing in the woods. Give me level 6 mid creep wave.
We'll find it now.
Blink on Enigma, so he doesn't have his BKB yet. When he gets his BKB, nothing is gonna be able to interrupt his black hole. But it's still like he needs to
Middle tower is under
find
attack.
a good black hole. Like a single man black hole is not gonna work. Wisp is just gonna save that target.
Huh. They just leave Alrun to die, I guess. Should end up dropping here. A couple right clicks. Yeah. Didn't have a TP, everyone else has, so they just bailed out, but he couldn't.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah, now, okay, Duo has a passenger. Ryo is there as well. 2 points up at the Sonic Wave. Putting them to Enigma, he is still farming these. Yeah, they're just baiting him out. This time the combo
Black
will connect
hole.
here with the Black Hole of Free as Lifesteal infests out. What a disaster here, but there are some reinforcements in turn.
Where is he?
Fabby bring in Velo. Evident forces TP out, but he's dead, same as a Tiny. But a lot of quick
was
damage coming through here. That looked like it was gonna be very clean cut for Blue Pikachu.
That was about as dreamy as it could have gotten for Blue Pikachu, yeah, but I mean, they didn't have TB there, they just didn't have damage to blow up Lifestealer.
Yep.
So,
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
just turns around.
Especially Underlord as well. Like that hero at the best of times is very hard to kill unless he's super far behind, right? Right now he has the Helm of the Dominator, he has the Crimson Guard, and he also has an IO behind him. Like, how are you going to kill this hero?
I mean, he might like disconnect and run into the enemy fountain, then it'll probably kill him. But
Yeah.
outside of that, yeah, it's really hard.
Not really something that happens in a pro game. Like, your friends will pause for you most of the time.
Probably.
Yeah. Get this Roshan now for pretty much free.
Roshan has fallen to
And
the
Orchid is complete on the Queen of Pain now, so even more things to worry about for the side of Blue Pikachu.
Yep. Radiance Aegis Lifestealer. Orchid
Either way,
on
not
the Queen of
Terrorblade.
Pain. There's a Sonic Wave available, and that's a very dead Terrorblade, or is it? Well, it is indeed. Will pop. But they did get the counter kill with the extra burst coming through from the rest of his team. So 1-for-1 trade.
Meanwhile, Velo is like, guys, objectives, guys.
He's fine. He can do it himself.
And now they have a mech on
Dire's middle tower
Wisp,
is under
Crimson, and the Helm of Dominator, like Region Aura on Andor. Like, they have so much sustain.
attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Even then, really getting himself out of the bottom lane. Yeah, the news is tightening for Blue Pikachu. They're just losing battles everywhere. And, like, what's the solution right now? It's if it is that black hole, then, like we talked about, it's not really a game-winning ability most of the time.
Yeah, it needs to It needs to be Black Hole combined with Terrorblade becoming fat eventually, but right now he is very far behind from where he wants to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, this Nyx, he farms faster than Terrorblade at the moment, I think, because of the radiance. Like, Terrorblade's illusions aren't really strong enough since he doesn't even. He's sitting on Yasha Dragonlance, so it's. They need more time, and I don't think Immortals is gonna give it to them. Immortals are gonna go higher, right?
Yeah. Sub-20-minute high ground push, MP leading the charge with the Rage. Just make sure Velo also sitting right next to him. IO behind, same as Dubu, so... They're gonna take it slow. Just, using that Rage. Using the Aegis, Velo in front. Yeah. Take a decent amount of damage.
At that
a lot of damage actually here with that right click.
Midnight Pulse on Underlord does so much damage. So yeah, they have some ways of delaying them at least for the side of Blue Pikachu. Oh, he's a pipe though. Oh, he has so much auras on Velo. Crimson Guard, Helm of Dominator, Pipe, and a mech on Wisp. Holy moly.
It's gonna get worse before it gets better, right? Isn't that what they say all the time?
True.
At some point, like we were talking about it before, right? This Terrorblade, it's all about him. If he gets really, really big, then they still have a chance to win. Avedon, can't quite get in range on all the spells on cooldown, so no stone to cancel TP.
Knew that he saw the stone, so he just tipped it out.
Oh, Sketch, clicking in, finds the avalanche, but Iosen sitting in the side can easily. Oh wow, nice toss! Perfect timing here as the tether comes out. So just relocates, alright. Locates back home. Velo's still standing around there up against 5 heroes though. Surely he's not surviving this one.
I think he might.
He might, yeah. And not actually doing any damage. Now MP! Well, being delivered here by Dubo, so it's Terrorblade down instantly. What is this? What is this hero? Yeah, you're dead too, right, without the Shillograve.
I mean, this hero is just innately tanky, but this hero is very tanky with
Like,
Crimson Guard, Pipe, Helm of Dominator 20 minutes in.
there were 5 heroes next to him, and he took literally no damage. This is really, really obnoxious. And now, well, Febby linked up with MP, racking away his house. Not quite dead just yet. Velo, this time though, without the Sorrows, none of these spells available. He might end up dying, but now Febby linking up just in time. Won't be too surprised to see him cancel that. Yeah, that is. Again, still didn't quite get the tower. Terrorblade kinda. Oh no!
That's no
Did you
meta.
see that? This is like when you get too fancy, you know? Oh yeah, I'm just gonna sit around to half elf so I can sunder someone to start off the team fight. And just get blown up by the Queen of Pain. Yeah.
I mean, very nice of Raya to capitalize on that.
Yeah.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
Just that again, twice in very short succession.
And this game is becoming quite the hole for Blue Pikachu to dig themselves out of.
Such an early set of racks. You only get the melees, but it's the more important one. Immortals, they showed no signs of stopping really. Don't have the Aegis anymore, but they have a fresh halberd and a lifestealer, so even more ways to deal with the Terrorblade, and also the Tiny sometimes.
They have the auras to just sit around and slowly poke damage on this tower.
There's so much sustain. I mean, Febby is the mobile fountain at this point.
Bottom shrine is under
Don't
attack.
have to go back at all.
This Wisp is actually ultra fat. How is he so fat, actually? It's more net worth than mid-tiny.
2 kills, 9 assists, all these buildings going down. Starts to add up. Doesn't have a lot of deaths to his name. What do
Yes,
you,
I mean,
Dire's bottom shrine
even Dubu with
fallen.
possibly the worst game in his career is sitting on a 3k net worth though.
Alright.
But I mean, yeah, they're making it happen.
Top tower has fallen.
Gonna try to find some space to breathe, yeah.
Dire's top shrine is
And
under
the star's still in the works for a Terrorblade. It does have enough money for his ultimate orb as he runs into Velo up the high ground. No fear in the world. No fear for this guy. But yeah, only a couple of gold away from the Mental Stalls, so that'll certainly help, but how much is the question?
At this point, it's just not enough.
Yeah.
He needs at least 1 or 2 more items. He needs a,
top shrine.
I guess, a BKB and then a real DPS item like a butterfly or something, and that's a lot of gold that not gonna just come his way. Like, the map is very pressured right now for them as well. Doesn't have a lot of space to farm.
Basically boils down to, again, what we were talking about before, Enigma. He does have that BKB now. Right
That
now
is the big
it's-
one.
Yeah, it's pushing the bottom lane. We'll probably hang on for another set of Eidolons at the very least. They have some good vision of the range right now with the side ground walls, so can stay very safe down here and then can always TP back the Blink, BKB, Black Hole. Maybe that's enough to buy them more time. If you can find the right targets. Like, you need the Wisp, unless you, or else you just relocate somebody out.
Yeah, that's
What else you need to...
anyone else I think
Anyone?
that you can kill. I mean, Underlord, I don't even think you kill him in the... Maybe you kill him in the Black Hole if everyone else hit him and the Midnight Pulse and the stuff is there, but I mean, Wisp +1 would be ideal. Roya actually has a Shadow Blade, so that's an interesting pickup.
Huh.
Guess he just wants to create pressure on the map basically, because Blue Pikachu sees this, they're just gonna be even more scared to show on the map anywhere. And with a Wisp potentially relocating in, like, so scary to be anywhere for Blue Pikachu.
Seems like a repeat of game number 1, is the way it went for the longest time, with Immortals just controlling up. Nice little toss back though after the initiation, and it's a really big kill if they can get it. Pops the ultimate and, well, even has to relocate.
Now they do know, however, that relocate is out. Maybe they can take a Black Hole fight here.
What we're looking for, the stun coming through. Nicely timed for Tiny, so it doesn't immediately get the combo off. Now he's silenced up. It's kind of very well played with Immortals, keeping the returning heroes safe. At the very least, that some of these saving ultimates down, right? Velo? No Dark Rifts, no relocate for another 7 seconds.
Immortals Courier is hovering over Roche Pit, so I mean, they're basically just kind of sitting here, eking out a little bit of damage, but in the end, what they want is Roshan before they really commit heavily here.
Yep. 25 seconds on the clock for that. Pikachu, when this is exactly a problem, right? You do have Blink Black Hole, but you barely see 2 heroes next to each other on the side of Immortals at any given time. So it's very hard to actually catch somebody worthwhile and catch them in a way that actually wins you not just a team fight, but also a lot of extra mech control, because that's what you need to secure on the back of that.
Yeah, because as soon as you use Black Hole, it's gonna be go time for Immortals.
Yeah.
Like, if not, yeah, the lanes are like pushed out and everything. They're just gonna go as soon as they're up. Like, is a 2-man Black Hole even gonna win them a fight? I actually don't think so. They need like a 3 or 4-man Black Hole. At least, like, maybe even 5, because they're so far ahead and they have so much sustain and auras and regen and everything.
Yep. Well, the back off as Roshan has respawned, and of course, there's a DD rune outside the pit. Thanks, Ice Rock. Aegis and Cheese gonna go into the hands of Immortals, more than likely here.
I don't think Blue Pikachu has any business in contesting it. They're probably aware that if we're gonna win this game, it's gonna be of a sick base defense.
Yep. Well, it has happened before. Again, game number 1. Immortals was in a similar position, controlling up the entire map and whatnot. But Blue Pikachu were able to turn around then, just finding these kind of team fights, finding pickoffs.
We see a nullifier build on Queen as well. He goes Shadowblade, Orchid, Nullifier, so he has like... He's a very scary, like... He can kill anyone he finds, especially with the Wisp relocate, so...
Orchid
It's creating
Nullifier,
a lot of pressure.
it's so nice. It's like a mini Doom.
Yeah, the mini Doom build.
Yeah. Couple Shadow Blades here. Okay, that's a good catch. Will Sketch survive this one though? Couple spells be thrown out. Follow up stun will not connect from Duber. So he gets away with Murder there quite literally. And without Febby, they should not feel too comfortable going high ground. Kind of rely on sustain from the Wisp.
That buys them a nice chunk of time here. Terrorblade pushing in the bottom lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's
Illusions, big rebuff, gonna do some amount of damage to the tower. But Ryora, you can just kind of deal with that right now as Velo continue to pressure up top.
I actually like that play from Velo because he kind of plays super cocky as if, okay, we kind of want to commit on this as a team. But meanwhile, Ryoya, he's scouting for their jungle for Terrorblade. Like, he wants to find Terrorblade, then he can probably solo kill him with this Orchid and Nullifier build. However, Terrorblade wasn't there, but like, Velo plays that confidently, so that Terrorblade is probably like gonna be able to be found by the Queen.
Yeah.
So, nice little stuff there happening.
You know, just really making the best out of this tankiness. Just
now
constantly
Febby is
walking
back.
up and then just walking back with 4 stuff, with everything like this.
Dire's
There's
top
no
tower has been
quick
denied.
stun here that's long enough for them to be able to burst them down. Just like...
And we didn't mention it, but Velo has the Aegis, and I guess it's because of exactly this. Like, he just sieges. Go in here.
I go on Febby again, but Sketch has the black hole! Alright, Raven Tiny as well. Where's the damage? Velo, they're trying to focus him down, but now turning things around onto MP. But just eats the cheese. He's absolutely fine with the Sunder on his teammate. But it's not nearly enough. They're all dead, buying back already. But Immortals haven't lost a single hero. Febby linking up with Dubu, healing each other up. And GG is called. That's the long and short of it. Tried to make that play, they got the black hole, but they lacked the damage.
Yeah, they knew they had to try it, and I mean, even Wisp, he failed his relocate save there, but yeah, they just didn't have enough damage. They were too far behind.
Yeah. Such strong timing here, 30 minutes in. All the aura items in the game essentially here between Febby and Velo. Crimson Guard, Pipe, Guardian Greaves.
Yeah, so much sustain, so much sustain.
8k heal done. Pretty strong. That's more heal than was done in damage by anyone but the Enigma. Look at these numbers, actually crazy. Enigma did the most
That's
by far,
Midnight
21k,
Pulse, I think.
22k, yeah.
Yes, when you're sieging and you're dropping Midnight Pulse, you're doing so much damage because the Underlord is so fat.
Alright, and with that, Blue Pikachu, they look pretty strong, especially in game number 1 with their turnaround. Had a pretty good draft in game number 2, unable to execute it here in game 3 also. A little bit awkward in the end here with the Enigma, just even with the fresh orb in the end, they didn't even get a second black hole off, I don't think. Unable to really make it happen like up against the Immortals, who take the series 2-1. And will punch the ticket to the finals of this particular qualifier. Only 1 game away from going to another LAN. The other part of the bracket has yet to be played out. DC versus Thundercats, 5 Turtles versus Optic Gaming. Those games are scheduled for the 22nd as of right now. Not sure if that'll change or not, but do keep an eye out on the various Twitters of BTS as well as StarLadder to keep up to date with that. But for now, we are done, eSkills. Thanks very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure as always. Yeah. And of course,
it's a pleasure.
thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.